Hi, this is Kavita Suresh Kumar and I'm going to demonstrate how intelligent management on-demand router configuration can be done using IBM WebSphere application server, network deployment, Docker containers, and using service policies, how workload can be managed dynamically. In this demo, we are going to make use of the IBM WebSphere application server network deployment Docker image which we created as part of the IBM WebSphere application server network deployment and Docker demo. Give Docker images ND command to review the image information. Let us start a container to run the deployment manager. The name of the container is DMGR. Through -d we have specified the container is going to run in a detached or background mode. Through -b we have specified the various port associations between the host machine and the container. -h host 1. Host 1 is the host name of the container. And nt is the image name. And the /bin/bash is the command. The container has been successfully started. You could see the identifier of the container. Let us inspect the IP of the deployment manager container. The IP is 172.17.0.15. Using the IP address, let us create a deployment manager profile. The deployment manager profile has been successfully created. Now let us start the deployment manager. Starting of deployment manager is in progress. The deployment manager has been successfully started. Now let us start a container for the on-demand router node. So in the name what we are going to have is the ODR node and then D for detached, and then we are going to specify the host name host2, and then along with that we are adding another parameter add host. Using this parameter adds the host name and the IP address association in the /etc/host file in the container. The ODR node container has been successfully created. Let us inspect the IP address of the ODR node. It is 172.17.0.16. Now let us create the custom node profile for the ODR node. ODR node profile has been successfully created. Now let us create a container for running the node 01. The container has been successfully created. Let us inspect the IP address of the node 01. It is 172.17.0.17. Let us create the custom node profile for the node 01. Custom node profile node 01 has been successfully created. Let us start a container for running node 02, and the container for running node 02 has been successfully started. Let us inspect the IP address of node 02 container, and the IP address is 172.17.0.18. Let us create the custom node profile for node 02. Custom node profile node 02 has been successfully created. Let us connect to the admin console and review the configuration. System administration nodes. We have 4 nodes: the manager node, node 01, node 02 and the ODR node. Now let us create the on-demand router. Server on-demand router. Click new. Click OK. Select the node name ODR node. Provide the server name as ODR. Click next. Uncheck zip. Then click next. Then click next. Then click finish. Click save to save the changes. The on-demand router ODR has been successfully created. Let us stop the deployment manager. The stopping of the deployment manager is in progress. The deployment manager has been successfully stopped. Let us start the deployment manager. Starting of deployment manager is in progress. The deployment manager has been successfully started. Let us log into admin console and start the on-demand router. Select the checkbox against the ODR, then click Start. The starting of the on-demand router is in progress. The on-demand router has been successfully started. Let us create a node group. Go to System Administration, click Node Groups, click New, enter Stock Node Group, click OK, click Save to save the changes. Now let's click this Stock Node Group, click Add Node Members, click Add, click Node 01, Node 02, click Add, click Save to save the changes. We have successfully added a stock node group with two members, Node 01 and Node 02. Now let us create the dynamic clusters. Click New, click Next, click Next, enter the dynamic cluster name, stock trade underscore DC, click Next, change the node group name to stock node group, click Next, keep the default values as it is, click Next, click Finish. Click Save to save the changes. Let's create the next dynamic cluster. Add the name Account Management underscore DC. Click Next. Change the node group name, stock node group. Click Next. Leave the values as it is. Click Finish. Click Save to save the changes. Next, create the third cluster. Provide the name Financial Advice underscore DC. Click Next. Change the node group to stock node group. Click Next. Click Next. Take the default values. Click Finish. Click Save to save the changes. Click Account Management Dynamic Cluster. Click Server Template. Click Java Process Management Process Definition, Java Virtual Machine, and set the initial heap size and the maximum heap size as 128 MB. Click OK. Click Save to save the changes. Go to the dynamic cluster. Click Financial Advice Dynamic Cluster. Click Server Template. Click Java and Process Management Process Definition, Java Virtual Machine, and set the initial heap size and the maximum heap size as 128 MB. Click OK. Click Save to save the changes. Again, click Dynamic Cluster. Select the Stock Trade Dynamic Cluster. Click Server Template, Java and Process Management Process Definition, Java Virtual Machine, and again set the initial heap size, the maximum heap size as 128 MB. Click OK. Click Save to save the changes. Go to the dynamic clusters. So we have successfully updated the 3 dynamic clusters. Let us install the application. Click Install. Click Browse. Select the sdstock.tar. Click Next. Click Next. Click Next. Click Next. Now assign the modules to the servers. Now we have set account management. Do the same thing for the financial advice. Click the checkbox and then click Apply. Click Next. Click Finish. To complete the application installation, click Save to save the changes. Now SD stock application has been successfully installed. Now let us create some service policies. So click New, enter the name Platinum underscore SP. Goal type is average response time. Click next, and the goal value is 60 milliseconds, and importance is highest, and then monitor time period is 5 seconds. Click next, click finish, click save to save the changes. Click new. Let's create the gold service policy. Average response time. Click next, 90 milliseconds. It's high, and time period value 5. Click next, click finish, click save to save the changes. So click new, click enter silver underscore SP, average response time. Click next, 120 milliseconds, importance is medium, and set the time period value as 5 seconds. Click next, click next, click finish, click save to save the changes. Click new. Now let's create the bronze underscore SP. Goal type is average response time. Click next. It is 150 milliseconds. Low, time period value is 5 seconds. Click next, click next, click finish, click save to save the changes. Now we have successfully created these service policies. Click bronze. Now let us create the transaction class for this. So enter stock trade. This is a stock query, so let's create stock query underscore TC. Click next, click finish, click OK, click save to save the changes. Now let's create, click gold SP, click new, enter the transaction class name, which is going to be financial advice underscore TC. Then click next, click finish, click OK, click save to save the changes. Let's click the platinum XP, click new, stock trade underscore TC, click next, click finish, click OK, click save to save the changes. Let's create first silver SP, click new, account management underscore TC, click next, click finish. You have successfully, click OK, click save. So we have successfully created the service policies. Now let's create some work classes. Go to applications, WebSphere enterprise applications, select the application, select service policies, click new, and enter the work class name stock trade underscore WC. Click next, select a module stock trade, and then copy the available patterns. Click next, click finish, click apply. So click new again. So now let's start for the stock query underscore WC. Click next, select the stock query module, then copy the available patterns, then click next, click finish, and then click apply, then click next. So now let's add the account management work class underscore WC. Click next, select the module account management.var, and then select the HTTP patterns, add them, click next, click finish, then apply, then click new. Let's add for the financial advice underscore work class. Click next, select the financial advice.var module, add the HTTP buttons, then click next, click finish, apply, click save to save the changes. Again select the SD stock application, go to service policies, select the stock query work class. Now let's add the transaction class to that. So the stock query transaction class has been associated with this work class. Click apply, click save the changes, click SD stock, again go to service policies, next select the financial advice work class. Let's do the association. So select the financial advice transaction class, click apply. Now let's do it for the account management. Select the account management transaction class, click apply. Now let's do it for the stock trade. Stock trade transaction class, click OK, click save to save the changes. Click operational policies, go to the atomic managers, application placement controller. So review the values. So we are going to change the minimum time between placement change it to 1 minute, click OK, click save to save the changes. Let's start some of the application servers. Server types, WebSphere application servers. We are going to start 2 servers on node 01 and 1 server on the node 02. The starting of application is in progress. All the 3 application server has been started successfully. Let's go and check the change the mode of the dynamic cluster. Select all the checkboxes. We are going to change the operational mode of the dynamic cluster from manual to automatic. So all the 3 dynamic cluster, the operation mode has been changed to automatic. So let's go and see whether the application has been started successfully. Yeah, the application is running successfully. Runtime operations reports, click add data and select the dataset type as application service policy. And from the dataset select the service policies which we have created: bronze, gold, platinum and the silver. And available metrics select as average response time. Click OK. So let us run some stress tests using the JMeter application. Click placement lab JMX. So for all the 4 applications we are using the number of threads as 100. Click run to start the test. View the graph. Clearly we could see the service policy for the platinum is orange and for the gold is pink, and the average response time has gone beyond the service goal. The average response time for the platinum policy has gone beyond the threshold. So we could see some operational alerts for the platinum service policy. So we could see a runtime task created due to the operational alerts we have seen. Let us see what is the information available in the task. We could see the severity. As part of this demo, we have seen how to configure